Okay, you guys out there, how many of you guys run into this problem where you got a fan, especially these bigger metal fans, 20-inch? After a while it'll quit running, or it'll be real slow to get started, or make all kinds of noise. Well, I'm going to try to fix this one and show you how you can do it and save your fan, hopefully. Now let me show you. Turn this one on. I don't know if you can hear it. And it's not moving at all. So if I go up to medium, still doesn't move. Go up to high, just barely moves, real slow. Up there it goes. Okay, you can hear it in a little bit. It probably will squeak in a minute, but I'm going to show you how, hopefully, you can solve that problem. So if you hold on a minute here, I'm going to turn this back off, and we'll go through some of the steps to correct that problem, hopefully. First thing I'm going to do is make sure it's unplugged. So, you always got to think of safety first when you're messing with electricity. So it's unplugged. It's on the other side of the table from the power cord, just to make sure that it doesn't accidentally happen. Okay, on these fans, on the front side of them, you have little screws around the edge of it. There's supposed to be 6 of them, it looks like, on this fan, but some of them are missing. Now this particular fan we got from a fella, and it sat out in his yard for 4 or 5 weeks in the rain and in the weather, and that's what it is. That's how it works. So what I'm going to do is take it apart and hopefully show you how to save a fan. So give me a minute and I'll be right back as soon as I get started on taking it apart. Okay, we're back for now. We've got the front cover of the fan off. We've got the 4 little screws set in there so that I don't lose them. And it was 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And when it was new, it was 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. So the next steps, we've got to take the fan blade off. The 3 blades are connected together on one fitting. And if you look right there, on this particular fan, you'll see that set screw. That set screw is a T3 Allen head. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And I usually leave that set screw in that fitting so that I don't lose that set screw. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I screwed the set screw back into the hole so I wouldn't lose it. I'm going to set the fan blade off here to the side. And now what we have is the motor. Now we want to take the motor off of this. So we've got these nuts and washers right here. This one's been missing, so this fan's been apart before. I don't know what kind of shape we'll have when we get in it, but we'll give it our best to try to resurrect the fan. And let me start taking these off, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all them little nuts and washers off. They were 9/32 for size. So now you got to pull the motor out the back. It goes straight out the back of the... Okay, and now what you've got, once we turn it around, is where your switch and stuff is attached to the body of the fan. So what we do is we'll take them 2 Phillips screws out, and then we can set the rest of the fan body apart on the side, and we'll be able to go into the motor, and I'll show you how to do that. So give me just a minute to get these other 2 screws loose. Okay, now we have the motor and the switch off of the body, and what I've done is laid just a piece of paper down so that if the screws and stuff drop, they won't drop all the way through, and if I drop any grease or anything like that on it, it won't stain my little bench. So now what we have to do is take these nuts apart right here. And when we take these long bolts out, what will happen is the 2 halves of the motor will be able to be separated right along here. So I'm going to go ahead and take them 4 bolts out, and I'll be back and I'll show you what we have then. Now these little bolts, they go all the way through the fan, so the fan motor. So just understand that they're a long bolt, And on the back side where the head is, they've got a square flange on them that fits up inside the motor, so you just twist it until it drops into the motor, and that's how you stop it from spinning when you tighten the nut. So, now that we have it apart, the screws out, what you do is you just pull apart. On this one, the front half comes off, easy. And then you can pull, there we go. Now we have the whole thing apart. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check. I've got some contact cleaner. I'm going to clean this, and I'm going to also clean inside, and then I'm going to check and make sure to see whether inside here where the bearings are, if they're any good, and maybe put a little bit of regular car wheel bearing grease in there. Now you can't see the one in the bottom. I may have to try to get to it better. And then I'll probably put a coat of dielectric grease here on the stator and the other parts in here. So give me a minute to get situated again and we'll go. Okay, I'm back. So what I've done is I've got 2 or 3 Q-tips, and I pulled the back side apart so you can see that the back has a bearing that sets down in here that I'm going to clean. I'm going to put some new grease in it. I'm going to go ahead and clean this other one that goes through the front and put some new grease in it. I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to use a contact cleaner, and I may even hit it with a light piece of sandpaper, because it looks like it's been riding on something. You can see scarring, so we'll see. But then I'm going to come right back now. We'll see what's going on. Okay, running my Q-tip through there, there's no real lubrication. Whatever's there is all dried up on this bearing in the side here. So that may be why it was making that noise, because the Q-tip comes out dry. It's almost like if you'd rub it in the pencil lead. Because you can rub it on there and it's just... So we'll put new lube, put some wheel bearing grease in there, and then we'll do the same. That's dry too. Okay, so let me do that. Here we go. What I got is just some regular old wheel bearing grease, high temp wheel bearing grease. I'm going to put a little bit on a Q-tip, and I'm going to put it down inside with the Q-tip. Make sure I get down inside the bearing, which you can't really see. My lighting's not very good, but I'm running it down inside the bearing where the back half of the shaft sets. So, okay. Then I'm going to put some in the front half, like I said. Alright, got that done. Okay, that should be all of that I need. Now, I've got, here it is. I got some regular spray-on contact cleaner that I'm going to spray and see if it won't help clean some of that stuff up. So let me spray it and I'll be right back. Alright, now if you look, I don't know if you can see it in there or not, but there's little contacts all the way around this. I'm going to spray each one of them with this cleaner to see if it will help any. So I'm just going to go around and spray them one at a time. Let it drip right straight down onto the newspaper. And there is a little bit of black stuff coming off of it, but you can't see it real well right now. So turn it around so I get to the other half of them. Let's see here. You can see a little bit better there. You can see there and there and there. So we'll go around, just clean them off. Okay, let that air dry for a little bit, and then I want to look at this. Here, yeah, this needs cleaned up too on the back, so let me clean it. I'll go ahead and clean it with this, I think. Yeah, you can see all the black run right off of it. Okay, so got that sprayed. I'll wipe it down. And then, let me turn, I gotta get both hands, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna wipe it all down, and then I'm gonna put some dielectric grease on it. The dielectric grease, what it does is it'll coat it and keep, hopefully, from getting filthy and dirty and corroded, but yet dielectric grease allows it to make electrical contact without shorting out. So I'll be right back. Okay, this dielectric grease, I just bought it at an auto parts store. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze some right onto the side here. And I'm going to take a Q-tip and I'll spread it all the way around it to make sure I get a good coat all the way around it. And it's just a clear grease. It almost looks like Vaseline. But I'm going to work it around it with my Q-tip, so that I know that it's got a coating on it, but yet it's not going to affect the electrical contact. I use this on my battery terminals for my car, actually my truck, so that it keeps the corrosion down. Okay. Now that I got it on there, I'm just going to spread it, make sure it's spread with my finger. I'm going to take and rub, let's see here, I'll put some on the back of this stick here, and I'm going to take the Q-tip and I'm going to apply it to the inside here. Same principle goes to help keep the corrosion and dirt and stuff off of the part. So now that I've got it spread around, I'm just going to take and rub my fingers around it. Okay. Now, when you go to put this back together, on this there's a little fitting, or not even a fitting, it's like a fiber washer on the back side. You need to make sure that stays in there, because what it does is it helps stop the grease from there to working its way up on to everything else. And on the same token, there's one on the top of it here that its purpose is to keep the grease from this from working up here. So now I'm going to have to take both hands, because I've got to line up all them bolt holes and put this back together. And as soon as I get it back together, I'll be back and we'll see what we got. Okay, we're ready to put it back in here, but I was noticing, if you can see, well, can't see very good, but you can see some of the rust that started to build up on this from setting out in the weather like it did. So hopefully we got through it fast enough to save it. Now when you take these apart, I usually take this off last, where the switch mounts to. But when I put them back together, I always try to put the motor in first, so that it's got less time of holding the weight of the motor hanging by the cord. So I want to go ahead and start the motor. But you got to make sure when you start it through here, that you leave the cord, well, you can't see it very well, right there by my finger. That cord's got to be on the top so that it'll work. So I'm going to have to get both hands so I can start the screws. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm going to tighten these. Well, there's only 3, but it should be 4. So I'm going to tighten these down. And then out of habit, I just kind of do them like you would lug nuts on a car. You just snug one up, go to the completely opposite side, directly across. You snug it up, and then you go to the one left. Well, it's actually on the right side, but it's the only one left. And snug it up. Okay, and then I just go back and double check them. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to put the 2 screws for the switch holding the switch on. So, here we go. Now, whoop, I got it set on the cord here. Okay, I look in there and It doesn't look too bad, actually. So maybe it kept most of the rain off of it. All right. Can't see much past my big fingers, but I'm trying to start the screw. Okay, don't run it all the way down because you got to put the other side in. I'm gonna go ahead and put the other side in and double check everything, and I'll be back and explain to you I'm putting the fan blade back on. Okay, that's all together and it looks like it's pretty good. Now, when you put the fan back on, the blades, if you look at this output shaft, let's see, right here, there's a notch. That's where your set screw sets. So I usually try to set it at the 12 o'clock position, which is straight up. That way I know when I slide my fan blade back over it, it's going to be in the 12 o'clock position. So that little set screw needs to be on the top. So, see if I can do this with one hand and try to hold this all together. Maybe not. Alright. So now that I ran that screw back down in there so I wouldn't lose it, I got to loosen it up some. So just look down inside the shaft. And you don't see it protruding down through there. So now we turn it around, and if you look on this side, there's a hole. That hole shows you where that set screw is. So you go right straight on, then you go back, and push it all the way back, make sure it sets, and I pull it back to where the shaft in the front is flush with the inside of the little cup right here. And then you just take and run your set screw down until it's snug. And then I just don't never tighten nothing on one of these real tight because they're not real good metal and they'll come apart. Alright, now before we start this, I'm going to put this cover back on for safety. We don't want to get, because this is being metal, it'll probably cut your fingers real good. So let me go ahead and put that cover on, and then we'll put power to it and see how it works. Okay, we're all back together. Looks like I got all the screws and everything back in. I don't have any left sitting right here in the corner of the table that I had, so maybe it's another good project. No extra parts means it must have went back together right. So now the moment of truth. Let's turn it on and see what happens. I haven't turned this one on, so I don't know. If it works, we've saved a fan from going into trash or recycle or however, and we can use it around here, whether in the shop or in the garage or maybe even on the front porch, but we'll see. So here we go. And it didn't work. Well, that happens sometimes. Let's see. I really don't know. I guess this one's just too far gone. I'll let it run just a little bit and see if it'll... Okay, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to let that fan run for about 5 minutes and then try it again and see what happens. Okay, I'm back again. It ran for 2 or 3 minutes. I just turned it off. I'm going to let it set for just a second or two here just to make sure there's no momentum on the blade. And then we'll turn it back on and we'll see what happens. Hey, you never know. It just may take it a little bit for the lubrication to work back in. We'll see. Okay, here we go. Low. Hey, looky there. Maybe that's all it was. Low, working real good. Look out there, you can see the elephant ears blowing around. Go to medium. There we go. And we'll go to high. Yep, all 3 speeds work. So there you go. Just that little bit of 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes it took to do this. Saved purchasing another $40 or $50 fan. Now we have an extra one that we have around here for the shop or the garage or Even use on one of the porches if we decide. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope even if it helps one of you, it was worth it. You guys have a good day out there. Bye.